Hi everyone, and welcome to the WTD podcast. My name is Kyia Mochitani, and I am your host for today's episode. Every episode, it'll be me right here. Big news. We have a special guest on the podcast today. First guest ever. Jake Stammer. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. Okay, so, we're doing Want to Date, all things dating advice, and convinced him to come on today, and for that I'm seriously forever grateful. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It means the world to me. We're just going to talk about the background of our relationship, the good, the bad, and how we made it through. So I would say the background of our relationship. So we met in 8th grade and started dating freshman year, very beginning of freshman year of high school. And I would say that for the first 2.5 years of our relationship, we were really unhealthy. I was really unhealthy. I had a lot of growing to do. I didn't know what it was like to be in a relationship. And poor thing, he endured it and made it work and loved me no matter what. And I don't know how or what, but our days kind of looked like this. So we'd go to school. We'd go to school together freshman year of high school, and we'd call each other at lunch, we'd call each other after school, and then we'd hang out. So it was fine. We were in the honeymoon phase. It was good. But then sophomore year came around. I ended up transferring to this high school, and basically our days would look like this. Wake up in the morning, on the way to school, he'd call me. Then we'd meet up in the beginning, walk to our classes. Go to our classes, meet in between every class. Hang out at lunch. Then he would go to practice. And then after practice, I'd have him call me. And then he'd call. And then I would either wait for him or be doing ASB or something. And we'd hang out right after his practice. So I'd wait for him, we'd meet up or call. And then we'd both drive to his house from high school. And then even though I was right behind him in my car, I would have him call me on the way to his house. And so we'd call on the way to his house. Then we'd get to hang out all day until nighttime came around and it was time to go home. So then I'd call him on the way home, call him when I got home, and then do it all over again. So we literally had no time to grow. We had no time to become individuals. His poor friends, I was literally so mean, and I resent myself, and I have a lot of guilt from that, and literally makes me really, really sad thinking about that. But then we, got better. Junior, senior year came around, and he was able to hang out with his buddies. I was able to hang out with my girlfriends, and we just learned to become a lot healthier. It literally got to a point where he had to say, Kyia, it's not that I love you, and not that I don't love you, but I just need my me time. I need to become an individual, and I can't be spending this much time with you. And I took it as, oh my god, he doesn't love me. I was just a wreck. I was oh my gosh, this hurts so bad. How could he say that? I would give every single moment and every single second to hang out with him. But I was no girl, rewind. You got things that make you happy. You can be your own person. And we learned, we grew, took us hitting rock bottom to get there. And senior year was a breeze. It was awesome. We had so much fun deciding for college. He was so supportive of me. I was so supportive of him because I went to Ole Miss and he went to Boise. He goes to Boise. So that was a far stretch, and we made long distance work so good. It was a breeze. Sure, I'm not going to say that there was no hiccups or there was no really dude or really girl. Come on. No, there was a few bumps in the road, but I would say overall, it was good, right? Nothing too bad. And now here we are. We are growing as individuals, and I'm able to do my thing, and he's able to support me, and he's able to do what he's passionate about, and I'm able to sit there and support him and cheer him on. And there's no judgment ever. It's just we're able to grow and be individuals, but be lovebirds at the same time. If you guys could, for those listening to the just audio, he just cringed at me really hard. But I thought it'd be a good idea if we do if we list a few major key points that we feel is necessary for a relationship to thrive, whether you're starting, whether you're in a relationship 10 years deep, for me, it's to never ever give up. When times get tough, hold on, keep going, because there's light at the end of the tunnel. Always, if you truly believe like that person's your person, always fight for them, and always fight for the relationship, no matter how annoying, how inconvenient, or how like sucky it feels. Always fight, never give up. That's what saved us so much and so many times. Another thing for me would just be taking the ego out of any and all situations. So like when we argue, whether I feel like what he's saying is right or wrong, it doesn't matter. This is how he feels, and he's able to feel and express how he feels to me, and I'm not gonna let me getting defensive or my ego get in the way of that. And I had to learn that the hard way, and we've had to learn that the hard way, and we still struggle with it. We're like, ego, no more. But yeah, I'll talk about that too in a few other episodes. But yeah, here is how Jake feels, what's necessary.
I think there's just two main things, and they're pretty simple. The first thing is just be completely honest, like no matter what. Like be honest about how you feel about certain things. Like don't hide your feelings at all, and just like be completely open, because like you'll hurt the person way more if you're not being completely honest than if you are. Like they'll understand if that's how you feel, even if it's like kind of harsh. I just think being completely honest and open is extremely important. And then another thing is like just communicating well, and kind of goes hand in hand with just being honest. Like just open up and just communicate and tell the person exactly how you feel about every situation, and don't like just be walked all over. Like you need to be equal, like 50-50. And the only way that can happen is like if you communicate well, express yourself, and be 100% honest.
100%. And I think like with being honest and communicating, that forms some kind of trust, right? So like when I open up to Jake and communicate how I feel, I trust that he's not going to get mad. I trust that he's not going to tell anyone, and I just trust that he listens. So I think a lot with that is also trust that goes along with both of our things too. Yeah, I think it'd be a good way to end the episode. This episode's not going to be too long because it's Jake's first one and he's warming up. So, yay. But I just thought it'd be a good idea if we just end with a few couples questions. So, number one, how do you think I describe you to other people?
Like laid back, nice, kind of shy, like reserved, homebody, but like a little bit of like a hothead, and like extremely competitive. Yeah,
I think 50% of Jake and I's fights come from pool games or card games, how competitive we are.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I agree with that. I think that you would describe me as crazy, loud, carefree, I'm trying to think, energetic, carefree when it comes to other people, but then like I care so much and I'm so passionate about like us and like certain things that I'm like super passionate about, you know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably like friendly.
I wouldn't say crazy, I'd say more like random or spontaneous. Not like crazy.
Yeah, and then number 2 would be, what could I do for you right now that I don't do?
Don't let like the little things affect us. Like if one little thing like goes wrong, or like, because like we're here for the long run, so it's like, what's the point of like one little thing like making you so frustrated and stuff like that.
For sure, definitely need to work on that. I think that you could be a little more like lovey-dovey with me. Like sometimes when we play games, it's like, booyah, like I'm in your face, like I won, like whatever, and it's like, dude, I'm not your buddy, like, why don't you be like, good try, bud, get him next time. I don't know, maybe a little more lovey-dovey. That's all I can think of. And then, what goals do you have for us?
Kind of goes with what I said before, but it's just like, don't let like the little things affect us, because I don't know, we've just been together for so long and we love each other so much. Like, we want to be together for so long. There's no reason for like just like one little stupid thing to get in the way of it. Like, you got to think of the bigger picture, and like not to compare ourselves to other relationships, because we're in such a different stage. So it's like, you can't be like, look what they're doing, or look what they're trying to do, or whatever, like, because like we're in such a different stage, so it's like so different for us.
No, 100%. I totally agree with that. I think a goal that I have for us is to grow old and wrinkly together and be walking with a walker and a cane side by side towards the end of our life. Lastly, what qualities make me special to you?
I think how like spontaneous you can be. Like, I'm pretty set in my ways, and I don't like to like do a ton of things. So like, you make me like go venture out and like go out of my comfort zone and go do things that I wouldn't really want to do. Also, like, you're really good at like being self-aware of yourself and like noticing what you do wrong or what you do right, and like you have like no ego with that, and like you're just able to accept like what's going on and what you're doing wrong, and then you're really good at applying yourself to be better. So I think that's awesome that not only can you like not only are you aware of what you do wrong, but you're able to fix it, and I really admire that.
Mm-hmm. That was sweet. That was really sweet. I love how supportive you are of me. Definitely throughout this entire like starting my podcast journey, having the idea and like literally bringing it to life, Jake was literally right there cheering me on, helping me, researching what's the best microphone, what's the best setup, what's the best lighting, what's the best mic, and the whole setup he spent hours and hours with me doing, and we moved my entire room, we painted my room. Like, he was always behind the scenes helping so much and like just supporting me and like always checking in. How much did you work on the pod? Or what have you done today? Or don't worry, you don't have to hang out with me for so long, for this many hours. Like, go work on the pod. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. And like, for that, seriously, like, I'm forever grateful. You're so supportive and so loving, and I just think like you love me with no ends, if that makes sense. Like, I always like feel confident that like you'll love me no matter what. You'll love me if this podcast isn't great. You love me if it is, and like you'll watch me thrive and stuff like that. And you've also like definitely like helped me push me out of my comfort zone for sure. Like whether that be with food, whether that be with my fitness journey or wearing certain clothes, like you've always reassured me and helped me be comfortable being uncomfortable, and makes me feel so loved and so good, and I seriously am forever grateful. But yeah, that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. You guys could be doing 1,000 million different things right now, but you're right here listening with us, and that seriously means the world to us, and we are so grateful, and I hope he comes back on. Crossing my fingers, 99.999% sure I can convince him again. Well, it wasn't that bad. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. Yeah, this podcast is for the doers. Whoa, redo. This podcast is for the dreamers, the doers, and the go-getters. I love you guys so much. Have the best day ever. Mwah.
Later.